You know those game consoles on like AliExpress or whatever, where it's like 100 games in one, but only 2 of the games are worth playing and they're illegal copies? Well, that got us thinking, could we do that, except good? Yes, we can, but to do so, we're gonna need a couple of things. First, we're gonna need a powerful gaming PC the size of a game console. Check. Then, we're gonna need some games that don't suck. So we called up the crew at GOG.com and they agreed to hook us up with DRM-free copies of the 500 top-selling games on their store, plus the DLC for all of those games, which, needless to say, is a list with some real bangers. So, let's do this, shall we? Wait, there is a twist on this one. When we finish building the rig, we are going to give it away with all of the games pre-installed to one of you! Today's video is brought to you by Smart Deploy. The clock is ticking on this exclusive offer. Deploy images, applications, and scripts over your existing network or the cloud with your free Smart Deploy licenses worth over $700. Go to smartdeploy.com/Linus to claim them today. So, some of you are probably wondering why the best console is a PC. You must be new here. The first benefit is, of course, intergenerational compatibility. Some of you might not know this, but GOG.com used to be known as Good Old Games because of their extensive catalog of classic games that have been tested to ensure that they'll work well even with a modern PC running Windows 10. And that right there is one of the reasons that a PC is so great. You can play anything from modern AAA titles all the way back to ancient classics like Hugo's House of Horrors if you want. All right, so we've gone with an ROG Strix B450i gaming. Why don't you kick us off with the rationale for our motherboard choice here?
It's compatible with this CPU. It's the mini ITX version that Asus has that it fits in the case. This works with it. That's about it.
Got it.
So here we have a Ryzen 5 3600. It's a 6-core, goes up to 4.2 gigahertz. I think it only costs $280. It might even be less now, like 200. So
yeah, it's a great deal.
Yeah.
And because all Ryzen processors are unlocked, there's really no compelling reason that we can find other than bragging rights to go with one of the X series SKUs. So you just go with the regular one, you overclock it a little bit, and you have a great time. Well, actually, I don't know how much overclocking we're gonna be doing on this because this right here is our cooler. This is the L9i-AM4. So this is Noctua's super low profile AMD cooler that, as you can see, is only about as thick as like a standard 25mm fan and a half. And our rationale here was, of course, that we needed something that would fit in a case that's only about as thick as 3 25mm thick fans, not even, but still adequately cool our CPU. When I say adequate, I mean adequate. I don't mean like overclocking.
Yeah, if you want to do overclocking, we have actually a new thing with Noctua coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, get subscribed if you want to see that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna get in here, I guess, then, hey?
Yeah, we can just double team it.
Double team it? Well, this is kind of weird. I thought the AM4 spacing was offset. I must be thinking of Threadripper. Now that is a compact 6-core gaming machine. Now, one of the arguments against a PC is that they're expensive. And if you're buying all new stuff, or if you're building a bit of a showcase piece that you want to give away and have someone actually feel lucky for getting it, that is definitely true. Like this 2 terabyte PCI Express Gen 4 M.2 SSD that can do over 4,000 megabytes a second, both reads and writes. Probably not necessary for your garden variety gaming PC. But with some secondhand hardware or some compromises to our pricier components, we can easily get things down to a very reasonable level. Besides, once you get past the upfront cost, PC gaming gets downright reasonably priced. Even with our system here, which is over $500 more than a current gen console, that's only 7 games at about $70 a piece. And if you want to play just the latest AAA games, I can't help you that much, But if you're willing to play games that are a little bit older, heaps of the games on this list will regularly sell for 50 to 70% off, and their prices are already cheaper on PC, sorry about that, compared to consoles. For instance, Hollow Knight, which is a 2-year-old game, currently costs $35 on the Nintendo Switch. And although it's worth every penny of that, on PC you can pick it up for 15 bucks, and it's been on sale for as little as 9. That means if you own a PC and you purchase Hollow Knight, you can basically get a t-shirt like this one at lttstore.com for nothing. Oh, this one probably does need the heatsink, actually.
Yeah, it's going to need either this heatsink or this one's probably fine.
That's a spreader, not a sink.
Ah.
So the heatsink will actually cool the drive, whereas the spreader is only gonna help with short bursts, which realistically is all it'll usually see. But while we are installing 500 games on it, I think we might wish we had the heatsink. Now, input options are another great argument for PC. Someday Sony might figure out that some gamers like Uncharted but hate the DualShock controller. But until then, of course, there's a PC. On a computer, you can use any controller you want, a keyboard and mouse, or even something else entirely. So our case and power supply choices were pretty straightforward. We love the Dr. Saber Sentry for its tiny size and also its ability to still fit a pretty dang powerful machine. And then Corsair, this 600 watt power supply is, again, very, very small and capable of outputting 600 watts of power, which is far more than we're gonna need. I would expect, even with capacitor aging, this thing is gonna last longer than this computer would. You know, it's just a computer, it's not a, airplane.
Yeah, I guess no one dies if we don't do this correctly.
No one drives screws in at an angle like I do. And of course, one of the other key benefits of gaming on a PC is that it's a PC. Computers can be used for all kinds of things, like game streaming, video editing, CAD, music creation, and so much more. So why don't we get our graphics card installed?
Yeah, we went with the 2060 Super. It has about the same amount of power as a 1080.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to be struggling to play the vast majority of the games in this library.
But it's also way more power efficient, so we're not gonna be struggling to cool the bloody thing like we did last time we crammed the top-end graphics card in this case.
Yeah.
So first, you gotta do one of these right-angle PCI Express risers. Go ahead and pop that puppy in there. Swoop. Then, we throw this bad boy in here. Then, I think we actually do need to remove this top panel up here. I could be wrong though, because I think it's got extra clearance for bulky graphics cards. Let's see.
I'll move this up a bit.
Man, that is a compact machine. Just something about efficiency just turns my crankshaft, you know?
Turns your crankshaft,
Yeah.
yes.
We didn't even need any cable ties or anything. This thing is freaking awesome. So here's our finished PC. We set out with a few goals. One is keeping it console-sized and good enough looking to be in the living room. Number two was to have decent performance, but without going absolutely crazy, because we wanted to show you guys something that has a pretty solid price to performance ratio. And finally, well, price to performance ratio. We wanted to go overkill on the storage because we wanted to have enough high-speed storage for all of our games. And those 500 games are gonna take up about 1.2 terabytes of space. So I guess without further ado, we should probably get to install. How the hell are we gonna install 500 games?
So fortunately, someone on GitHub created some code that will download all of your games for you off of GOG.
Oh.
The only problem is that it's from GitHub, so.
So no user manual included.
Yep, we were only able to get it working on Linux, but that doesn't super matter. So we're going to have all of them install onto our server, then we'll just drag it onto this. And last that I checked, it had been running for 2 hours, and take a guess how far it had gotten.
10%.
180 of 500 had been initialized. It hasn't gotten through that bit yet.
Oh.
It's gonna be a while.
So we'll see you guys again on Thursday.
Yeah!
So it's been 2 days, and they're not quite done yet.
Yeah, there's still 536 gigabytes left of the 1.8 or so terabytes of total stuff that we had to download.
Now the good news though is that we've already got about 300 plus games. So we figured that's enough for us to go through and try some of them out. And then by the time we actually ship out the PC, which you guys can find details for how to win at the link in the video description, it'll have everything loaded up and it'll be ready to go. Now's also probably a great time to shout out Good Old Games for hooking us up with this, because while they didn't sponsor the video or anything, it's Alex's understanding that, what's the guy's name?
Arthur.
Arthur from GOG.com actually had to go through and contact all these publishers to get permission to do this.
I think they also had to add every single game in this to the account individually, which, given how long it took me to install 166 games, probably took them a really long time.
Thanks. So why don't we have a look at some of the games we've got? So this is fun. I tried to do a quick search for OBS and
Yeah, the start menu is basically broken because of how many games we have on this.
So should we start with Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura?
Sure.
This looks like a very old game. Raised by snake handlers. I need a sword. This ring seems pretty good. So it's an RPG. Blah, blah.
You just killed a dog.
It's a wolf.
You're a monster.
It's not the same thing. We're not promising that every GOG game is gonna be like up your alley, you know? I wanna have a look at what we have. There's a lot of really big games in here. Alan Wake, Age of Wonders, 1, 2, and 3, Assassin's Creed, BioShock, the lesser BioShock.
Thief 1 to 3, Terraria, Dead
Crosscode
Cells.
is fantastic. Dragon Age Origins is in here. Crusader, No Remorse. I bought this game at London Drugs when I was about 10 years old, and I wasn't able to play it because my computer couldn't run it.
That's rough.
Actually, no, it was the sequel. Wow.
This is something.
It's an old game, okay? So what are the animations on or off? Whoa! Difficulty level,
No regret.
no regret. Okay. I don't even know what the controls are like. What the?
Oh geez, already, you just, they really throw you in there.
That was it? Okay,
All right, new game.
let's try Mama's Boy. Spacebar? Spacebar. The arrow keys rotate you, so you like walk like that. Oh, you can back off while you have your gun drawn though. Yeah, you know what? I actually didn't miss out on much, I don't think. Far Cry. Far Cry 2 wasn't as good. Okay, I'm sounding like an old person now. Yo, the first one was great, second one wasn't that good. So, speaking of games at London Drugs, I remember seeing the Leisure Suit Larry games in the land of the lounge lizards. Contain some elements of plot which may not be appropriate for some children. How old are you?
What happens if you say like 12?
To verify you are, which is not a mountain range. Well, A and D are sort of both correct, depending on, you know. How am I supposed to know this?
Is this like part of the game or is it actually going to lock you out?
If you miss another, you can't possibly be 33.
Oh my god.
Come on! See? You're a kid. You have got to be kidding me!
That's actually fantastic.
Painkiller, Postal 2, Prince of Persia. Oh my god, we're playing Redneck Rampage. This game is so bad.
What? Oh wow.
No, this is a real game, Brandon. This soundtrack, though.
Where the hell do I go? How the hell do I get through here? Should we just give up?
Yeah, I kind of think so.
Well, so long.
Oh wow, the whole Witcher series.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Oh, Warcraft 2!
There's Rayman.
Have you played this game before?
I have, yeah.
I don't want to be this guy, I want to be Rayman.
Tough beans.
Do we want those things? Are they good?
Yeah. Oh, we're able to hit things now. Great.
What the heck? Keep up, loser.
You're like actually the worst person to play games with.
No way, Jake.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Jazz Jackrabbit 2?
This is unskippable also.
I mean, no wonder video games had the stigma. Party mode!
Party mode, yes!
Local play split screen, no way! Oh, wow,
Oh,
this is not great. This level is gigantic. Where are you at, dog? Hey, there you are.
I can't tell where you are on my screen, so I'm using yours.
What the heck? Wait, so when we get hit, do we shed diamonds?
Yeah, you're on the ground there.
Oh, so I'm winning now. For news and updates, visit jazzjackrabbit.com. Okay, please tell me this is still up. No, Jazz!
Epic Games, you can get this back online for us. Does Cuphead have multiplayer?
I think so, yeah.
How do I died.
Okay, I want to try again. I think I can do better than that.
Oh, geez.
Dang it. Are you dead again?
Yeah.
Dang it, partner. All right.
Anthony just sent me a message. He thinks that they've blacklisted our IP, which might have been why this didn't work.
Are we rolling on this?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to call them up.
Yeah. Hey.
We're not actually trying to DDoS you. You gave us a lot of games.
Yeah, it's not a distributed denial of service, it's just a regular denial of service. 10 gigabit internet. Okay, so last game, Crosscode. It's objectively excellent. You're gonna love it. Everyone who gives it a fair chance will love it, I guarantee it. And what's objectively great too is the console PC. Now, I want to acknowledge that, you know what? Most of these games don't have a great two-player couch multiplayer experience, something that more traditional game consoles are known for. And of course, many of the console exclusives that people are so passionate about are not available for our console PC. But we do have this gigantic game library. It was both silent and high performance the entire time we used it. And, well, for the one of you who wins it, it's gonna be free. Oh yeah, what else is free?
The Witcher. GOG is giving it away for free if you sign up, so that's cool.
Yeah, so you'll find details for that at the link in the video description. Speaking of links in the video description, our sponsor, Squarespace. If you want to make a website about something you love, whether it's a game you're really passionate about or like you run a small business or whatever the case may be, Squarespace is the place to do it. They've got tons of award-winning templates that you can use as a starting point for a wide range of projects. And if you ever need additional help, Squarespace offers 24/7 support via live chat and email. They've got a full series of help guides and they offer webinars. If you already have a third-party domain, you don't have to give it up. Just transfer it over to Squarespace, and every Squarespace site includes e-commerce features so you can sell products or services online. So go to squarespace.com/LTT and get 10% off today.
So we're gonna keep this for a little while before we give it away, aren't we?